Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Was a sunny and warm day and a little windy out there. Still quite breezy. 20-mile-an-hour winds out of the south, but that south wind is helping to boost that temperature up, and we're going to see that again tomorrow. A few clouds trying to build in here, but we're going to say that it's going to remain at least partly cloudy through tonight. 32 in Champaign, 36 in Effingham. No issues tonight. We're not forecasting any snow, any rain. Tomorrow looks awesome. The end of the weekend could be a different story. We talk more rain and snow in the forecast here in just a little bit, so stick around. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
President Biden was sworn into the nation's capital. How his journey to get there started in Springfield. Plus, crowds are concerned for almost every city. What one leader says could be behind their spike.
And also tonight, most wouldn't want to sleep out in the cold, why some are volunteering to do just that.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Help you God, so help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
With those words, President Joe Biden was sworn into office this morning as our nation's 46th president. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. The president called for unity, saying the nation needed to end the uncivil war that pits red against blue and rural versus urban.
The inauguration was different than ceremonies past, smaller because of both the pandemic and a lockdown against threats of violence.
The president will also take 17 executive actions before his first day is over, some of which will reverse a number of former President Trump's policies.
President Biden's long path to the Oval Office got a big boost in Illinois.
Of course, former President Obama picking him as his running mate elevated his status as a presidential contender. But it's where it happened that has historic significance. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell is live in Springfield tonight. And Mark, that spot was a major milestone on the road to the White House.
Jennifer, good evening. The U.S. Capitol was the backdrop for President Biden's inaugural address today. But this, our old state capitol, was the backdrop for his big breakthrough on his long path to the White House. 12 years ago, a young, fresh-faced junior senator from Illinois tapping Joe Biden as his running mate on the presidential campaign trail. That, of course, elevating Biden's status for years to come after those 2 terms in the White House. The historic significance of this building, where Abraham Lincoln once called for national unity, again, a common theme repeated in Biden's inaugural address today as he called for Americans to lay down our arms in this uncivil war. A public relations expert who helped to craft and organize that 2008 event about a dozen years ago saw a connection between the speeches then and now.
It's unfortunate that we had a president in 1858 that warned people about having a divided nation and stood for the abolition of slavery. And here we are over 150 years later, and we're still dealing with some of those same issues. It just shows you that if you don't learn history, you're doomed to repeat it.
The steps of our old state capitol, much like the perimeter of our nation's capital today, crawling with heavily armed National Guard, but it's what they symbolize, that line of defense against a real or perceived threat from our own neighbors that President Biden now seeks to overcome as he tries to bind together a broken country, a bitterly divided country, that campaign promise he made to help us heal. It, of course, echoes the same sentiments that Abraham Lincoln spoke when he quoted the scriptures in this building behind me and saying a nation divided against itself cannot stand. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell.
Mark, thank you so much.
President Biden was sworn into office in Washington, D.C., but eyes were also on state capitals across the country, given the rioters that stormed D.C. earlier this month. Federal authorities reported blanket threats at all 50 state capitals. Precautions were in place in Springfield with armed Illinois National Guardsmen and road closures leading up to the Capitol complex. But some Guard members in other states were removed from inauguration duties because of extremist posts.
Vetting by the FBI was really to look at radical speech that might be online or somewhere like that. I'll tell you what, I'm very pleased. A lot of people may highlight there's 12 members that were identified. That's a very, very small number. Our residents in Springfield should feel very secure about the nature of having the National Guard here.
There are also other checkpoints around the city in addition to those near the Capitol complex. While the state capitol was guarded, state police were also standing watch at our nation's capital this morning during the inauguration. ISP posted these pictures to its Facebook page, sharing their view.
While most of the former presidents attended the inauguration, former President Trump broke with tradition and didn't go. He did wish the new administration luck. He left before the event to fly to Mar-a-Lago in South Florida. He told his supporters before leaving, "We will be back in some form." Vice President Pence and his wife were there, and they both later flew back to Indiana. Illinois' Republican delegation in D.C. responded to Biden being sworn in. Congressman Rodney Davis says he is ready to work with the Biden administration, but also said in a statement that he, quote, won't hesitate to oppose President Biden, his administration, and the Democratic-controlled Congress, and hold them accountable for their party's liberal impulses. Congressman Darren LaHood says he will work to find common ground with the Biden administration as well.
Vice President Kamala Harris is making history today in more ways than one. We spoke to women in our community about the impact those firsts have. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting joins us now. Courtney, regardless of political affiliation, it was a remarkable moment in our nation's history.
It really was, Paul, an amazing one to watch. So many people I talked to said that their favorite part of it all was actually seeing their own children witnessing the inauguration, because they know their kids will grow up in a country where that is possible.
I, Kamala Davy Harris, solemnly swear.
It cannot be understated that representation matters, and what you see, you know to be.
And people across the United States and the world saw this. The moment Kamala Harris took her oath of office. She's the first woman vice president, as well as the first Black and Asian American vice president.
Well, I knew it was going to feel like a big moment, but I didn't think it was going to hit me as hard as it did.
Cynthia Bruno started the organization Girls Go For It. It's a leadership and empowerment program for 5th and 6th grade girls.
I think it's important for all kids, no matter what their gender, no matter how they identify, to see diverse people in positions of power.
Janina Baker is the only Black woman on the Champaign School Board.
Acknowledged the skills that she brings to the table is that hope that some of us also wish for. And so when you can see it nationally, right, then hopefully it filters down locally.
Community leader Ashley Morgan says the inauguration felt like a victory, but there's much more progress to be made.
This is not where we need to stop fighting. This is not where we need to stop and just be like, okay, it happened and that's great. Let's move on, on to the next. No, we keep going. We keep making this happen.
United Way Chief Development Officer Becca Gayette is Latina. She feels Harris's victory is a reminder that the fight for representation is worth it.
She's been perfectly clear about the challenges to get to this point, but she's kept going. And so I think it's also a message on that, just the importance of continuing to keep going.
Harris also has some ties to Central Illinois. She was only about 2, though, whenever she lived in this area. She stayed in Champaign while her dad was an economics professor at the U of I.
Yeah, little known fact, I think.
I know. I think it's interesting. A lot of people thought she lived in Urbana for some reason, but yeah, Champaign's her home base for a while anyway.
Yeah. All right, Courtney, thanks. Well, another tie to Central Illinois was at the inauguration today. Monticello native Master Gunnery Sergeant John Rula played the clarinet with the president's own United States Marine Band. It was the 7th inauguration at which he's performed for 5 presidents.
Sometimes all it takes is getting a talking to. Why a team meeting may have helped the Illini snap a losing streak.
Also tonight, you look forward to sleeping in a warm bed, while some are eager to spend a night in the cold instead.
And it was sunny, but it was cold today.
Do I get a talking to when, the weather is bad? What do you think a Brad Underwood talking to sounds like?
I imagine it's not something we can hear on TV.
We can't do that? Get the 7-second delay ready.
Yes.
All right, to recap today, roofing guy at Bratcher Weather Camera, downtown Champaign, 35-15. It was cold this morning, but that's actually where we should be for this time of the year. We've got cold mornings, warm afternoons, and our next wintry system to talk about when we come back.